Traffic, 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 traffic everywhere. Hello and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey, chapter 134. It is the third day of the week, aka the Psycho Crusher workout. I am on the way to the gym right now, and I'm feeling good, feeling grand, feeling golden, feeling actually way better than I expected, honestly, 100%. Besides that, I am running in front of cars and getting in front of them. There you go, just to beat traffic. Anyways, to the main subject matter today. New adaptations, new life, new everything. Today is an upper body day, but the main reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I skipped going to the gym yesterday. Mostly because I was ultra tired and needed the rest. Mostly I was dealing with calf issues recently, calf and ankle issues, which haven't been an issue in the past, but also because of I got a job and whatnot, new adaptations have had to happen. So because of that, I'm walking more, I'm standing more, I'm doing more, just generally speaking. So because of that, the moreness, I am getting more lower body stuff going in, and then that has been upping the fatigue a lot. So that's something I'm gonna have to figure out, and that's basically just like figuring out stuff. I wanted to use this episode to kind of like figure out what the hell I'm gonna do about certain things and try to like feel it out, kind of, because I like to also use these types of episodes to kind of like, you know, figure out something that's going to change in the future, and some other issues that have come up. Like, for example, editing have been still an issue that I haven't resolved yet, and I think I'm going to resolve it relatively soon, but I'm not 100% sure. So that's one thing that I hopefully will do with this episode, just to try to resolve that entire lack of time and issue. So, you know, that one is what it is, but there's so much new stuff, and it's like there are a lot of weird like growing pains here when it comes to like figuring out when everything's gonna happen, when you're doing things and all this other stuff. I wouldn't say it's insane, but it sucks a little bit. Like, there's a little bit of a learning curve to make everything work out. So I guess it's just about that, really. I guess maybe growing pains is a better term for this. Growing pains. And maybe I'll go over some other growing pains, you know, some other stuff that will just kind of happen. But right now it's just learning how to load manage properly for me, because although my job isn't labor intensive, it's still just having a job and having that entire thing happen, like walking and all that other stuff, because I have to walk to my job after taking the train. That type of stuff is something that is new and different, and now it's an added stimulus to my legs, which have caused me a little bit of an issue with them. So it is just adapting to the new stuff and trying to figure that out, make sure that it is all right. It all just depends. But growing pains, they will happen. You know, I always think of like when kids are crying, you know, it's like, why are they crying so much? I'm like, you know, it hurts to grow. You know what I mean? Like, it's not fun. The idea that your body is changing literally moment to moment sucks. So I imagine that is lesser, obviously, as you're an adult and stuff like that. But going to the gym, although I love it, it is slightly painful. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh yeah, like I'm not going to have stress-free muscle growth. There are going to be muscles that grow faster. There are things like that, but you're going to have to push yourself in order to get it going. That stays regardless. But that's just a funny little anecdote. I'll probably talk a little bit more about that on the inside. But with that being said, I will... Whoa, tree branch almost fell. Holy shit. Sorry. With that being said, I will see you on the inside. So on this day, I started with the decline iso press. It was pretty good. I like doing this machine a lot. It has been helping a lot getting rid of my bitch tits, I guess is the best way to describe it. But anyways, back to the main subject matter at hand. Actually, before we go to the main subject matter at hand, I wanted to talk about this little elephant in the room, because it's not really a little elephant, but it is an elephant in the room nonetheless. It is the video / this is episode 134. Where the fuck is episode 133? Well, funny thing is that I completely miscounted it. So because of that, I think all episodes are shifted, and so this is the next episode. 133 is just going to be forever missing. Technically, I skipped that day, which was a lower body day, which was the Quadzilla workout. The reason why I skipped it was because my legs were destroyed, because my legs had some new adaptations that they needed to grow to adapt to, and that is where we will talk about the main subject matter at hand, which is growing pains or growing adaptations. You know, it's been a little bit since I started this job, so I've been able to do a bunch of these workouts throughout this. This was the beginning of week 2. I am now at the beginning of week 5, so that should tell you how long the backlog of videos to edit is. But basically, it has been a little bit of a learning curve, but now that I have learned the curve, it's been not too bad, thankfully. It's been a non-stop ride, but it is a ride that now I am used to and can now grind out a few things and not really waste my time anywhere else, which is kind of nice, but it did suck there. It did take a little bit in order to adapt my body to all the new stressors that's happening, plus the stresses of work and working, commuting, and doing all those things and all that other stuff really had changed everything out. But with that being said, though, because it's so different, it's kind of nice in that sense. It's some new things to learn in life, trying to balance everything out, have a work-life balance, but as well add the gym in there too and all this other stuff. It's been a learning curve, but I've learned it a little bit. The weekends have been very useful for doing things like these videos and stuff like that, and I've found pockets in order to make it so I can edit along the lines too. But it has been generally nice. Another adaptation that has happened recently, which I didn't really think that was going to be an actual thing until it happened, which was dietary changes. So at the beginning, the first week of work, I ended up doing rice, chicken, and like vegetables, which is the ultimate bro meal. But slowly came to realize that the rice was a little too much food. I got some like digestive issues because I didn't eat rice on the daily, and I had stopped eating rice for a while. So now when I eat rice, I kind of just do it every once in a while, and it isn't that much, because if I do, then I start feeling a little bit of issues with my just like stomach generally. I generally feel more fatigued, I feel slower, and it's interesting that my body has now adapted itself to the point where I don't really eat much like that. I don't even eat many carbs anymore. That's a lie. Sorry. Pause. Rewind. I do eat carbs. The only thing is that I try not to eat too many of them, because I do feel full and like water retention and bloated and just bleh. It just really doesn't gel well with me. I've learned that high protein, some fat is actually a little bit better for me. I feel much more cognitively aware and also just in focus because of that, which is something I didn't think would actually happen. You know, now that I'm in a maintenance and the maintenance has been going well, now that I've balanced out all of my dietary things, it's been an interesting journey, to say the least, of trying to balance everything out and knowing now what my body is like. I would have never really had to deal with any of this if I didn't have the job. I wouldn't have had to deal with like the dietary changes and all that other stuff, and just figuring out meals and all that, because I was at maintenance for a while there before the job, but now I'm like staying like very stable because of the job, because now I basically have like a set breakfast and a set lunch, but the dinner slightly varies, but it's relatively the same. So it's interesting to see that those changes there and inside my body have been there, and it sucks. It's a little bit of a pain in the sense that I do like rice, and it sucks that I can't eat it like frequently like I once did before. Now, it might have been that my body just adapted itself without needing it, but I don't know, and I can't say it's maybe not just a freak thing, but I definitely don't miss it in a way like I used to. Like, I used to miss it all the time, but ever since that time now that I'm like, ugh, like I don't feel good now, I feel great, and I'm like, it's all right. Like, I want a little bit of it, but I don't want that much of it anymore. That's the thing about these days, is just learning everything and adapting and making sure that once things aren't working, to make the quick changes on the fly, really. And that's basically what's been happening, is just trying to get all these changes through and making sure that they all work out in my favor, so that I'm not screwing myself wherever like I'm just like lacking on something, or I'm just like trying so hard to make a square fit in a round peg, you know, that entire thing. It all just depends, but I mean, really, it's just taking your time, slowly moving it on the fly, and then figuring it out from there has been pretty nice. It's been a long process, but it's still getting there. I'm still in the phase of liking the job and getting used to it and all that other stuff, but we'll see how that goes in a few months. But overall, it's been a learning curve, but it's nice. It's good. It means that I can grow and adapt and become a better and more well-rounded person. So there is that. And we're back. Welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercises not filmed. None exercises skipped. Also, we got one actually, sorry. It was the V-bar tricep pushdown. I could not find the V-bar / I am very certain that they got rid of it because people keep using, that happens to be the one attachment that ends up breaking the cables. So I feel like they've gotten rid of it. So I'm going to buy my own and not be a dickhead with it. So I think I'm going to do that. I think that's the main issue with the V-bar there. I don't know why or what happens, but I think that people use it like an asshole and then the cable snaps and then they blame the attachment and not the user that's using it. So it is kind of annoying and frustrating, but it is a growing pain on coming on these days / doing that exercise. So with that being said, I will be doing that very near future. I will be buying it, and that's one of the benefits that I have about having a job now. I can actually be like, hey, I'm just gonna buy this attachment and just buy it. I don't have to worry about not having the money for it or putting it on a credit card and being like, fuck, I'm already in debt. I'm gonna get even more in debt by buying this like a little attachment. Even though it doesn't cost much, it's still more debt for no reason. But now, a little less stressful, just a tad bit. But I am gonna still probably buy it, and I'm still gonna get it. And obviously, I'm not gonna be an asshole about it. I will have video evidence of it if I am an asshole about it. I don't think I've ever done anything wrong with it. So I really wonder why they blame the attachment. It makes no sense. I just feel like people are assholes when it comes to using that attachment, and they just happen to have had the cable break when it does that. But I could be wrong. So it is something that I'm gonna have to figure out on my own. But with that being said, growing pains. It's been a little bit tough to adjust myself to all the new stuff in life. There's been a lot of change recently. So much change that I hopefully got into some things that have changed over in the voiceover. It is not as smooth as I would like it to be, but then again, it is the second week, and that's the other thing. I just got to give it a little bit of time for things to really smoothen over, to really gain my traction and my footing, to make sure everything's good to go. And then once everything's good, it'll all start sailing smoothly. Right now, the seas are a little bit rough and a little bit tumble. A little bit rough and tumble, but at the same time, I will get used to these seas. I will get used to all of the timing, the friction, all of that other stuff, and I'll get it ready to go, so that way it'll all be smooth sailing after a little while. But with that being said, tell me what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about this. Please, I would love to know any of your thoughts and opinions about this. You know, when adjusting to new things, how long does it usually take you? Do you let some things go? I think that's the biggest thing, is letting things go recently. I've had to like basically decide, what am I keeping in my life and what am I letting go of? Like, what free time things are no longer worth the free time? You know, what brings me ROI, return on investment, whether it be something as simple as reading, like something for fun, something like that. Although like, it is great, it is something that like, all right, I don't want to use my free time to do that. I'd rather use like time that I can while I'm commuting, because I can do it while I'm commuting, so it doesn't matter. So it all just depends, like, you know, just things like that. Video games is an example of where the ROI is decent. You know, I get pretty happy and I'm very excited to what is happening right now. To play video games, I'm pretty excited because I'm like, ooh, I haven't played these in a while. But then again, at the same time, am I really getting anything out of playing Metal Gear for the 17th time in a 17th time period? Am I really gonna get anything worth value there? That is the question. But it is what it is. It all just depends, really. But with that being said, giant cat going across the street. Holy shit. Just tell me your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be back up tomorrow with a new video, hopefully. Thank you very much again for watching. Please share this video with anybody who may or may not like it. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Keep it heavy. Peace.